zone weather in Bruton, Alabama, with meteorologist Spinks Meganson. Severe weather coverage starts right now.
A tornado warning is in effect for parts of northwestern Washington County in West Alabama, valid until 6:45 p.m. This is a brand new tornado warning that has just been triggered by the National Weather Service in Mobile, and this does include areas near Milry, Alabama. Good Tuesday evening to you. I'm meteorologist Spinks Meganson. It is 7 o'clock in the east, 4 o'clock out west, and it's 6 p.m. on the dot, and we've got our first tornado warning of the day for our local area for parts of northwestern Washington County in West Alabama, valid until 6:45 p.m. We've got a complex of showers and thunderstorms that continues to move in from the west, but as of this point, this is the only warning. And so the first thing we need to do is tell you exactly who is involved in this brand new tornado warning polygon. Let's go over to a different source so that we can show you exactly who is involved in the tornado warning polygon. There's the watch warning map. And you're looking at West Alabama. Just to set the stage for you, this is Wayne County, Mississippi, right here. This is Washington County, Clark County, Marengo County, and this is Choctaw County. So a big chunk of Choctaw County, Alabama is now involved in an active tornado warning, and this also does include areas near Milry. In fact, let's go ahead and zoom in on the watch warning map so I can show you a little bit more about who's involved here. Right around Milry and areas near Dunbar involved in this tornado warning that's valid until 6:45 p.m. And you can see that also Butler, Needham, Gilbertown, Silas, and Toxey, they're along the U.S. Highway 84 corridor involved in this new tornado warning. We also note that areas near the Coastal Alabama Community College campus near Gilbertown on State Highway 17, just off of State Highway 17, are also involved in this new tornado warning. This is valid until 6:45 p.m. So let's shift over back to the radar view and we'll show you what's happening out there across the region. This is the only tornado warning that we have on the board as of 6:01 p.m. across the entirety of our local area. And what's happening here, we've got all of these storms back in southeast Mississippi that continue to move just to the east of due north, so basically north-northeast. And what that means is over the next hour or so, some of these storms are ultimately going to end up in parts of Washington and Clark and Choctaw counties over here in West Alabama. But again, the imminent concern is for this storm that has just prompted this tornado warning for parts of northwestern Washington County. Let's zoom in real tight. And for folks that may be joining us, the way it works around here, we focus on the danger zones. It's not that I'm ignoring you. If you're in Mobile, Pensacola, Andalusia, Crestview, Bruton, you are fine right now. There's no active tornado warning really for any major population center in our area. But for folks in West Alabama, particularly near the Washington County Public Lake, Chapel Hill, Milry, Silas, Gilbertown, all of this area in or very near this tornado warning polygon that's valid until 6:45 p.m. Let's actually go over to the velocity source and look at this because this storm has been broadly rotating for the last hour or so. We'll put this in motion and highlight exactly what happened here in terms of why the Weather Service issued the tornado warning. And there it is, right there. That's your couplet. This is near the triple point of where Wayne County meets Choctaw and Washington County. So this is basically grazing the I'm talking far northwestern corner of Washington County. Lots of lightning with this storm, which is usually indicative of an updraft that may be getting a bit stronger. And just to paint the polygon for you, right there, that's going to be your tornado warning polygon, and this thing is moving just like that. So in about 5 minutes, this is going to cross U.S. Highway 84 just to the west of Silas, Alabama. Silas sits right there at the intersection of State Highway 17 and U.S. Highway 84, and so this possible tornado is going to do just like that, basically coming into Choctaw County with lots of lightning, potentially some hail as well, and also a possible tornado. That is the concern this evening, and that's why we're here. Let's go back over to our big radar view. And for the folks, in fact, tell you what, let's go to the graphics quickly, because for the folks in Silas, Gilbertown, the community of Butler over in Choctaw County, areas near Toxie and Silas, this is what you need to be doing right now. Lowest floor, site-built structure, away from windows and doors, putting as many walls as you possibly can between you and the outside world. You want to be as far away from that tornado as you can. In other words, get to a basement if possible, or the middle part of your house. That's what you want to do in this situation. So again, here's your tornado warning polygon very near the community of Chapel Hill. This is a very, very sparsely populated part of West Alabama. In fact, the entirety of Washington County, Alabama only has about 17,000 residents in this part of the world, this part of the county. And so Washington County is a large county by area, but there's not many folks here. But for the folks who do live near Milry and Chapel Hill, and if you live near the Washington County Public Lake, which is in the northwestern part of Washington County, that's the area involved in this active tornado warning. Once this crosses into Choctaw County, this will quickly be an issue for areas near Silas and Gilbertown. If you are on the campus of Coastal Alabama Community College there at Gilbertown near the State Highway 17 corridor, we need you to be in your tornado safe place. Implement that plan now. If you're in a mobile home, we need you to get to a site-built structure, and you got about 3 to 5 minutes to do that. I realize it's raining like cats and dogs already in Gilbertown and in Needham, but nonetheless, you need to be in that tornado safe place now. You can't be in a mobile home. Mobile homes are death traps in tornadoes. And I realize that there are people out there who don't want to hear me say that, but it's simply the truth. Mobile homes are designed to be mobile. They're designed to move. And so we encourage you to be in a well-built, site-built structure away from windows and doors, putting as many walls as you can between you and the outside world. I have seen no reports thus far of any damage happening in West Alabama just yet. And the reason I say that is because we have had a slew of storms in the central part of the state. Let's see if I can show you that quickly on a different source here. Yeah, here's the statewide view. And looking at this, this is the only tornado warning that we have on the board as of 6:06 p.m., but earlier we did have a few more warnings. Let's put our regional radar into motion and let's let this catch up, because again, we have had tornado warnings in parts of West Alabama and parts of Sumter County about an hour ago. Looks like storms have kind of entered a weakening trend as they're moving towards Tuscaloosa and Birmingham, but nonetheless, these storms are still strong, producing a lot of lightning. Let's zoom in quickly to the central part of the state. I know that we've got folks very interested in Birmingham and Tuscaloosa. Many students from our local area attend the University of Alabama and, of course, UAB in Birmingham. This is simply heavy rain. This looks like a bad storm, but this is very heavy rain, lots of lightning. There is a severe thunderstorm warning in the far northern part of the state for parts of Morgan, Cullman, Lawrence, and Limestone counties there, so be aware of that. Also, a severe thunderstorm warning in place near Forkland in Greene County. Large hail possible with that storm, in addition to damaging straight line winds. And we are here because of this. This is a tornado warning that continues for parts of Washington County in West Alabama. And keep in mind, this is a very, very small part of Washington County as the radar data loads here. Community of Dunbar sits right here. Washington County Public Lake, good fishing at that lake. It sits right here in this polygon, but this circulation is quickly going to be out of Washington County in a matter of moments. Again, you're looking at the velocity data here, and yeah, clearly this is already an issue for Choctaw County, Alabama. So I would suspect in the next 5 minutes we'll be able to give all parts of Washington County an all clear. We're not able to do that just yet, but hang out in that tornado hiding place if you are near the Washington County Public Lake or near Dunbar in the far northwestern corner of Washington County, Alabama, and I'll be able to give you a tornado all clear hopefully in the next 5 minutes or so, as this thing is really moving towards Gilbertown. Got a storm chaser on the ground sitting just west of Silas on Highway 84, which would be right about here, and he is noting that there's significant inflow into the cell. So that what he's suggesting, let me kind of paint the picture for you here on our velocity view. This is your circulation, and this is one of the better circulations that I've seen all day. That would be your counterclockwise circulation right there, and this is basically moving just like that. So on that trajectory, this is going to be an issue for areas near Highway 84 and Silas, and in about 5 minutes, Gilbertown and Toxie. This is Alabama Highway 17, which is your main northwest drag in West Alabama. So we are encouraging no travel at this time from Milry all the way back up to Butler on Highway 17. You can't be traveling on Highway 17. If you know someone that may be traveling on Alabama Highway 17 in parts of Choctaw or Washington counties this evening, I should say, let them know there is an imminent tornado risk due to this possible tornado this is going to be a big issue for Gilbertown. If you know someone at Gilbertown, this thing is going to cross right through really Toxie and Gilbertown. And so if I know someone in Gilbertown in Choctaw County, Alabama, I'm calling them right now. All right, don't play with this thing. This is a day where we could have potentially a significant tornado down in the far southwestern corner of Choctaw County, pushing off to the northeast, very near Gilbertown. Unfortunately, this is basically going to parallel the main highway 17, Toxie, Gilbertown, Needham, and then ultimately Butler. If you're in Butler, you are involved in this active tornado warning that's valid until 6:45 p.m. Let's go back over to the traditional radar source, and we'll show you that at the moment, this is the only tornado warning that we are working across our region. Let's go to the local view. And what's happening here, this is the first batch of thunderstorms that we have been advertising. We're going to have another batch of storms that develops a little later tonight, and that batch could produce tornadoes, damaging straight line winds, hail, and maybe even flash flooding if storms train over the same areas. Let's kind of do a view around the region, though, on the velocity system as well, because I want to see if we have any more imminent tornado warnings. Just kind of scanning the area. See, when I see, I'm going to mark on the map what I'm looking at while I'm talking to you about it. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3, 4. All of those are areas of rotation in the atmosphere. This is arguably the most significant one I'm seeing on radar right now. This is Greene County, Mississippi. Leakesville is here. You've got the U.S. Highway 45 corridor right in through here. This is going to ultimately cross into Washington County. And so we're going to hang out with this over the next several minutes, because what's about to happen here, we are about to lose the tornado warning for Washington County right in through here. This has clearly become an issue for Choctaw County, Alabama. And so typically what we would do, because this is moving into one of our counties that we don't technically cover in our primary coverage area, we normally would say goodbye. We're not going to do that, though, because this circulation is very, very strong. Could be producing a tornado coming into Gilbertown, so we're going to keep watching that. And while we do that, we're also going to watch these other circulations back in Mississippi. In fact, tracking 3 over in southeast Mississippi, 1, 2, really 2 circulations in Wayne County, and then another one here in Greene County. And so those are going to cross into West Alabama, into Washington County or Choctaw County in the next few minutes. So let's go back over to the big radar view. And if you're watching from Mobile, Pensacola, Crestview, Milton, Pace, Gulf Breeze, Bruton, Monroeville, Evergreen, Andalusia, Ock, Greenville, Georgiana, all those areas are A-OK right now. You do have a tornado watch that does continue for several local counties, but in terms of the imminent tornado threat, it is exclusively right now in place for parts of Washington and Choctaw counties in West Alabama. Understand, if you're in Clark County, you're next in line, all right? So probably going to see a tornado warning at some point before the night is over in Clark County over here in West Alabama. And this whole batch of storms has yet to move through in terms of the main event today. Let's actually show you the statewide view, because I want you to see exactly what we've got yet to come across our local area. We'll put this in motion and take you over to our LD2 source. And understand, all of these storms back here to the west of I-59 in Mississippi all of this still has to come through our local area in the overnight hours. So you got to have a way to receive the warnings, even if this particular tornado warning is not in place for your location. We still have a tornado risk over the next several hours. It's not going to be just this one, most likely. We probably will have more warnings in the hours ahead. Let's see if we can go over to our graphics system, and I want to take you through what we're expecting while we continue to track this possible tornado in southern Choctaw County. As we look at the, let's first look at the tornado watch, and the counties involved in this until 11 o'clock. You've got Mobile, Baldwin, Escambia, Conecuh, Monroe, Clark, Washington, Choctaw, Marengo, Wilcox, Dallas, Lowndes, and Butler here in the southwestern corner of Alabama. And then one county, you've got Escambia County, Florida, which includes Pensacola, Century, and Walnut Hill, valid until 11 o'clock tonight. And so tornado watch in effect for several local counties. This does go all the way back up to Birmingham and Tuscaloosa. So a tornado watch for the western half of Alabama. Several questions. Will we get another tornado watch later for the rest of our local area? The answer is probably so, and that probably will come around 9 or 10 o'clock. So be on the lookout for that. Here's how the radar is likely to look over the next several hours. Future radar off the high-res rapid refresh model. By 10 o'clock, probably going to be in the thick of things across our local area, with damaging winds and tornadoes being possible through the overnight hours. That look is valid at 1 o'clock. Could have the main batch of storms exiting out of our area by about 4 a.m. So this is not going to be a situation that goes away very quickly. Showers and thunderstorms going to be likely in the hours ahead, some of which could be severe. And so this level 4 risk has really done a number today, with multiple tornadoes back here in parts of Mississippi, some damaging tornadoes. In fact, there was damage near the Mississippi State University campus up around Starkville earlier. So again, a level 4 risk in place. Let's go back over to our storm in Choctaw County, because this is a situation where we continue to track a tornado. And looking at the latest data from the Weather Service, this is a situation that you don't want to see. This storm is strengthening. So again, you're looking at Choctaw County. Possible tornado is going to be down here near the Highway 84 corridor, coming into areas near Gilbertown and Toxie. Silas is right here. Toxie is here. Here's Gilbertown. And so possible tornado is basically right in through here, perhaps just to the north of Highway 84, about to come into areas near Gilbertown over the next few minutes. In addition to the tornado risk, you also could have hail up to the size of a quarter in places like Toxie and Gilbertown right now. That would be happening now with the high reflectivity values that you see there on our radar system. Right there, that could be your hail core, basically paralleling Highway 17. So yet another reason, in addition to the tornado risk, you don't need to be driving on Alabama Highway 17 due to the prolific risk of large hail in place. Let's go back over to our velocity system, because I want to put the folks in Washington County back on notice. This is a nasty looking circulation right here, and I wouldn't be shocked if the Weather Service works up a tornado warning for parts of Washington County over the next 5 minutes. So again, putting you on notice in West Alabama, if you are in Washington County near Vinegar Bend, near Tibby, Chatham, areas near Deer Park, even State Line, Mississippi. This is a nasty storm that could produce a tornado in the next, say, 5 or 10 minutes. And we will see if the Weather Service opts to issue a tornado warning. I suspect that they will. This is a circulation, a separate circulation that is coming out of Greene County, Mississippi, about to cross the state line into Washington County, Alabama. And again, tracking what could be a sizable tornado in Choctaw County. Let's go back up to that storm. And yeah, this signature has really gotten strong right there. That's your possible tornado. And this is basically at Silas and Toxie right now, coming into Gilbertown. And so again, at Silas, I should say, coming into Gilbertown. Toxie is on the north side of Gilbertown. But again, this is going to be an issue for Toxie along the Alabama State Highway 17 corridor over the next few minutes. Let's go back over to the radar view, and I want to kind of analyze a few things here. While I do, I'm going to zoom in on our radar system for you to watch this storm in Choctaw County, because this is the one that has prompted the tornado warning. And again, maybe you're just now tuning in. It is 6:18 p.m. I'm meteorologist Spinks Meganson, and what I'm telling you is, if you know someone in Silas, Gilbertown, Toxey, Needham, or Butler, Alabama, in Choctaw County, you need to call them and let them know that there is a very strong signature on radar that could be producing perhaps a large tornado in through here, coming into Gilbertown and Toxey right now. So again, call them in those 5 communities that I just called out. Again, Silas, Gilbertown, Toxey, Needham, Butler, along Alabama Highway 17. If you know someone in those areas, stop what you're doing and call them. You can be the hero tonight, all right? Save a life. They may not even know that we're supposed to have bad weather today. That's how this works. There are so many people who don't. Call them. Let them know they're involved in a tornado warning. Meteorologist in charge at the Weather Service sending us a message in our NWS chat feed that a tornado could be down very near Gilbertown at this point. Very strong rotation noted on radar, and that's exactly what we're seeing here as this supercell storm continues to lift to the north-northeast just like that. Again, let me analyze a few things in terms of what we got going on. Several questions coming in from folks over in Thomasville and Grove Hill. If you're in Thomasville and Grove Hill, you are fine for now. A tornado watch does continue until 7 o'clock, and I suspect that will be extended beyond that. But at this point, no issues imminently for Clark County, Alabama. Current time is 6:20 p.m. I want to thank everyone who sent in viewer photos today. We had a dog, a picture of I guess it was a Yorkshire Terrier that was sent in from Mobile, and that thing, it was the perfect demonstration of just how strong the winds have been across our area today. Those winds have been howling, sometimes at 30 miles per hour, out ahead of these storms that are now happening in West Alabama. And we certainly want to thank everyone for all of the photos that are being sent in from across our local area. Again, just watching this very carefully, wouldn't be shocked if we got another tornado warning over the next few minutes for parts of Washington County. Here's the storm that we originally started this feed for, and I should mention, if you are at Milry, we'll give you a tornado all clear for now, all right? If you're in Milry, you can come out of that tornado hiding place. If you are at Dunbar or areas near the Washington County Public Lake, I would stay in my tornado safe place for the next, say, 2 to 3 minutes. What's happening here, your main circulation is now well to the north, but there actually is another storm moving by that is broadly rotating. And so, as a course of least regret, I can't, in good faith, give you an all clear just yet if you're at Dunbar or areas near the Washington County Public Lake. This is a secondary storm that has developed back behind the main circulation, and this may be why the Weather Service has chosen not to clip out Washington County. They're kind of watching this secondary circulation, but no doubt this thing up around Gilbertown means business. Let's look at the, look at that. 100-mile-per-hour winds. Now, keep in mind, this radar beam is hitting this probably, 7,000 or 8,000 feet in the sky. But nonetheless, this is telling us that this storm means business. And I'm not saying that 100-mile-per-hour winds are happening at the surface. It could be happening, but probably values less than that. Again, this is just so tough to deal with these tornadoes over in West Alabama because of this radar hole, as it's known. Let's actually see exactly how high the beam is. Yeah, that's you see that. That's 7,500 feet. And so what's happening here, the Mobile radar is so far away from Gilbertown, Alabama, that this is not a good representation of the surface wind speeds. In other words, it's a perfect representation of what we got going on about 7,500 feet up, but that doesn't give us ground truth. And West Alabama is notoriously a radar dead zone. I wish we could get a weather radar right here in parts of Marengo, Clark, or Choctaw counties that would provide great coverage for this area. But that has not happened yet. I know there's some folks working on that. But again, we're tracking a possible tornado at Gilbertown and Toxey in Choctaw County. This is on Highway 17 at this point, so it can't be stressed enough. If you are at Toxey, Gilbertown, or know someone traveling on Alabama Highway 17, you need to call them and let them know that a possible tornado is imminently moving to the north-northeast at about 45 miles per hour. This thing is moving very, very quickly. And just looking at the data, again, we've got this secondary storm now in the far northwestern corner of Washington County. Here's Milry, here's Silas. And this is going to be pushing into Silas. And again, I can't in good conscience give you an all clear just yet in Silas. I realize that the main circulation has passed, but let's hang out in that tornado safe place in Silas and in Dunbar just until this secondary circulation passes. And that, I promise, it won't be 5 or 10 minutes. This circulation down around State Line, Mississippi, this looks more of like a damaging wind risk at this point. But even so, the Weather Service has chosen not to issue a tornado or severe thunderstorm warning for that. And so I'm sure they're watching it very intently and very carefully, but so far, no warning for central Washington County. Let's go back over to the classic classic reflectivity view. And again, you're zoomed in real tight to Choctaw County over in West Alabama. We'll zoom this out and kind of show you the wide view, because I know the way this works, we've got folks coming in and out of the Facebook live stream. And you may be, seeing us for the first time as of 6:24 p.m. Let me stress, 99% of us across Southwest Alabama and Northwest Florida are okay right now, but the big concerns are over here in West Alabama. You're not okay if you're in Choctaw County, specifically near Gilbertown, Needham, and Butler. That area is under the gun from a possible tornado as of 6:24 p.m. And we're watching another cell that's developed right here in Washington County. That's going to be another one that's going to basically following the same path, maybe a bit to the east of the first storm, and we're going to have to watch that one over the next few minutes. Again, no reports of damage so far. This is a sparsely populated part of West Alabama where these thunderstorms are happening, and I suspect that if damage has happened, it may be a while before we hear about it. Just because, again, the population density out and through here is quite low. And I should mention as well, in addition to the tornado risk, there is a risk of large hail happening now near Gilbertown and Toxey, coming into Needham as well right now. So you need to be inside, of course, and in this case, you need to be putting as many walls as you possibly can between you and the outside world if you're in those three communities, Gilbertown, Toxey, Needham, here in Choctaw County. This ultimately is going to be an issue for Butler as well, which is the county seat of Choctaw County there at Alabama Highway 17. In about 5 minutes. So you got 5 minutes in Butler before the hail risk begins. If you need to run outside and put your car under the carport or in a garage or shed or something like that, this could be hail that could be potentially damaging to cars. And so large hail up to the size of a quarter could be possible over the next few minutes in parts of Choctaw County. Really looking at this thing in Washington County, though, as well. No warning out on this at the moment. Right there. That's another circulation that we're going to have to watch. And look, this is going to be a night where we have probably multiple or many tornado warnings. This is the first of what could be several over the next several hours, and I suspect that as we get into the overnight hours, we probably will have more severe thunderstorm and tornado warnings because of this secondary batch of storms that's ultimately going to cross our area from west to east. You can see these counties that we have in yellow. Those are the counties involved in an active tornado watch until 11 o'clock tonight. For these counties you see here, till 7 o'clock back here in West Alabama. But like I said, I think that time will be extended as we still have storms ongoing as of 6:27 p.m. for much of West Alabama. Let me actually check on this cell down in Mobile County as well, because again, all of these storms are pretty much exhibiting signs of rotation. Let me take you back to the view I'm looking at on the iPad here, and you're looking at an app called Radar Scope. All right, this app costs $10 to install. That's the version that we're using as well. It's a phenomenal radar app. Now, you can use the free version of the radar in the Red Zone Weather app on your iPhone or Android or iPad or tablet device totally free. But if you want an advanced radar where you can kind of track along with us, this is called Radar Scope, and it's available in the App Store and on Google Play. By the way, I don't endorse WDT, the company behind Radar Scope. I don't make a dime off of it. I just happen to think that it's a really nice radar tool. Many people use it across the nation. And right now in Radar Scope, we see this very intense circulation coming into Needham. All right, Toxie and Gilbertown. This thing has been at your location for the last 5 minutes, and I hope and pray that this is not producing a tornado, but it very well could be with a signature like what you're seeing there. I mean, tons of lightning in this storm. You see all those little dots of white, those are lightning strikes over the last 5 minutes, and this storm is outputting a lot of lightning. Let's see if we can turn on the lightning data here and count this. Yeah, 190 strikes of lightning over the last 5 minutes alone in this part of the storm in Choctaw County, Alabama. Again, the imminent concerns: tornado at Gilbertown right now, and large hail near Toxie and Needham right now, moving towards Butler, basically paralleling Alabama Highway 17. So it can't be stressed enough. No driving at this point on Alabama Highway 17, basically extending from, say, Butler all the way back down to Milry in West Alabama. That stretch of Alabama Highway 17, you can't be driving on at this point. And based on the signature here, it is prudent to give an all clear to parts of northern Washington County. So let's go ahead and do that. Now, I realize that the weather's still pretty bad. You've got heavy rain, lots of lightning, but the imminent tornado threat in Milry, near the Washington County Public Lake, and near Dunbar has come to an end, all right? I realize that's technically still included in the polygon, but we'll give you a tornado all clear. I see we got a new tornado warning coming out. This is going to be for Washington County, according to our friends at the National Weather Service. This is going to be a separate deal, and this was that same circulation that we were talking about a minute ago. And so let's go back down to this storm, because again, an imminent tornado threat now exists for Yarbo, for Chatham, for Fruitdale. New tornado warning also includes parts of Clark County. So let me get out this new warning in our Red Zone Weather app, and this is going to be a tornado warning that is valid until 7 p.m. at local time, 7:15 p.m. And this is for Chatham and Yarbo in Washington County, and this is valid until 7 o'clock p.m. This also does include a part of Clark County. This is the first time that we've had a tornado warning today for Clark County, and this is going to be a warning that's in effect until 7:15 p.m. This warning does include Coffeyville, and this also includes areas near Silitpa and Zimco. All right, so Zimco now involved in a tornado warning valid until 7:15 p.m. So the first thing we need to do, let's go back to our watch warning map, and we'll show you exactly who is involved in this new tornado warning that's valid until 7:15 p.m. Here's your watch warning map, and if I call you out, you are now involved in an active tornado warning valid until 7:15 p.m. You need to be doing something about it, and you need to be getting sheltered right now. Fruitdale, Chatham, Jordan, areas near the airport, near Chatham. Yarbo, Milry, back under a tornado warning. You've also got Frankville, Silver Cross, St. Stephen's, Silitpa, Coffeyville, areas near Zimco, also involved in the tornado warning. You've got a big chunk of US Highway 84 now involved in this active tornado warning until 7:15 p.m. for parts of Clark County. This also does include the southeastern boot heel of Choctaw County as well, basically to the east of Silas. And so what this means is no driving at this point on US Highway 84 from Waynesboro, Mississippi, all the way back over to Grove Hill. Big zone in here involved in multiple tornado warning polygons, valid until 7:15 p.m. So again, watching this situation very carefully, let's go back over to our LD2 source. And this technically is the only tornado warning that's in effect for our local area. This storm in Choctaw County has now moved into an area coming into Butler over the next few minutes. So again, it can't be stressed enough. If you're in Butler or you know someone in the town of Butler over in Choctaw County, Alabama, call them and let them know a possible tornado is moving in from the south. But again, we are here to cover Washington County right now in West Alabama and watching this situation very carefully, because we could have a possible tornado developing very near Fruitdale, coming into areas near Chatham. This is going to cross State Highway 56 somewhere between State Line, Mississippi, over to Chatham, Alabama. So no driving right now on State Highway 56 from State Line all the way back over to Wagerville at this point. No driving on State Highway 56. We would also tell you that we would encourage no travel on Alabama Highway 17 from Millry all the way back down to Tibby, all right? That includes Yarbo, that includes Jordan, that includes Chatham, all right? No driving on Alabama Highway 17, yet again, in parts of Washington County, as there is an imminent tornado threat involved. Just getting some messages in. And looking at our data source here, this is going to be a potential tornado that is really, really firing up here in Washington County. Let's go back over to the velocity view, and just to paint the polygon for you, because these polygons on radar scope are a little hard to see. That's your polygon, and this could be a tornado on the ground very near Chatham, coming into Chatham along State Highway 56 over the next, say, 2 to 3 minutes. And this is going to be moving to the northeast just like that, coming into areas near Yarbo. Yarbo may take a direct hit from a tornado in the next 5 to 10 minutes. And not to use dramatic language, but this is a serious situation over here in Washington County. This circulation has really ramped up over the last 5 minutes, and you know the drill. If you know someone in Chatham, Yarbo, Frankville, St. Stephen's, Coffeyville, call them, let them know that they are now involved in an active tornado warning valid until 7:15 p.m. Let's see if the Weather Service, the Weather Service continues to monitor that cell that's approaching Butler up here in Choctaw County. We'll look at that quickly. And storm chasers are noting that the possible tornado, when it crossed Highway 84, exhibited a wall cloud, was noted when this thing was down around 84. When you've got a wall cloud, you're one step closer to having a tornado on the ground. The storm chaser in the area is noting that there was a lot of scud being pulled in. Scud is basically a harmless cloud type. You see it a lot in the summertime around here. A lot of people mistake scud clouds for tornadoes, but that's kind of what we're seeing on the ground over in West Alabama. We certainly want to thank all the storm spotters and storm chasers in our area today, kind of a hot spot for severe weather as we continue to track these possible tornadoes. Let's go back to our storm, though, down around Chatham. That is a circulation that's basically at Chatham, Alabama, very near State Highway 17 and State Highway 56. And so what I would tell you is that if you are at Chatham, you need to be implementing that tornado safety plan now, all right? If you're just now tuning in, implement that safety plan now if you're at Chatham. And if you're at Yarbo, this is an imminent threat to life and property at the community of Yarbo and the community of Jordan in Washington County, Alabama. If you are there, you need to be implementing that plan. And if you know someone at Jordan, at Yarbo, call them and let them know that a tornado is likely on the way. Lots of lightning with this storm as well. We'll go back over to the big radar view and show you that on the reflectivity, this continues to be a storm that could be producing large hail in addition to a tornado on the back flank of this. Let's kind of zoom in down to street level if we can do that. Because again, your possible tornado is going to be on the back rear flank of this, right in through here. All right, that's going to be your possible tornado. Here's Chatham, there's Jordan. This is Highway 56. That is Highway 17. And so possible tornado is going to do just like that, coming into Jordan over the next few minutes. Also Ellisville, Loper, Yarbo, Bigby out ahead of this. You're involved in this tornado warning. Barlow, if you live in Barlow, you're on the edge of the polygon, and it does look like this tornado is going to pass a bit to your east. But if I'm in Barlow, because you're technically on the line, on the polygon edge, I would implement that tornado safety plan. If you're at Barlow, Alabama in Washington County, implement that tornado safety plan right now. Let's kind of go downwind on this and look where this possible tornado may be headed. We called out some of these places: Bigby, Frankville, Silver Cross, Tatlersville, Salitpa, also areas back here near Milry are involved in the polygon. And so again, be in a safe place. It does look like this circulation center will pass just a bit to the east of Milry. Similar to what happened last time, a few minutes ago, the circulation passed to the west of Milry. This time it looks like it's going to be to the east, but if I'm in Milry as a course of least regret, I would get in that tornado safe place. Downwind of this in parts of Clark and Choctaw counties, you got Tatlersville, Coffeyville, West Bend, Woods Bluff, Cunningham, McIntyre. That's Alabama Highway 154. And so in those communities that I just called out, I realize the weather isn't bad right now, but you are under an active tornado warning in those communities that I just called out. Even Chilton, all the way over to Chilton, right there north of Grove Hill, is involved in this active tornado warning polygon. And keep in mind, if this storm holds its strength, it's going to be doing something just like that. And so that's going to put it on a collision course with perhaps Thomasville or areas near Bashai in northern Clark County. So I'm putting you on notice. You are not under a tornado warning at the present time as of 6:39 p.m. in Thomasville or Bashai. But again, putting you on notice, you may have another tornado warning in those areas if this thing holds its strength. We will have to see if that happens. Got an update from the Weather Service, and they are calling this a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located at Chatham, moving northeast at 50 miles per hour. Let's also go up into our storm in Choctaw County, Alabama, because this possible tornado is happening very near the community of Butler. So again, watching this thing very near Butler at this point. This is Choctaw County, Alabama here. Clark County is here. This is the Tom Bigby River, and that is Marengo County. So possible tornado is very near or just to the south of the community of Butler, very near Needham, and this is going to shift off to the northeast, very near that large paper mill at Pennington. All right, if you're at Pennington, you need to be in a tornado safe place now as we have a possible tornado. And you know what? I have to apologize. I'm looking at a data source here that doesn't go all the way up to Pennington. Pennington is actually out of the polygon right now. But what I'm saying is, if this tornado holds its strength, you're there, and you know what? There it is. All right, just like that, we got a new tornado warning for Choctaw County, and this one's going to be on the board until 7:30 p.m. So let's back out and show you this brand new tornado warning that shows just how quickly things can change. This is a tornado warning for the northern part of Choctaw County, including Butler and Pennington and areas near that large paper mill that I was just talking about. Those areas are now under an active tornado warning. So again, we're talking about the northern half of Choctaw County, particularly here in areas west of Highway 17. Butler, Pennington, areas near the paper mill, there along the Tom Bigby River, be in a safe place. We're also tracking a storm in Washington County, down to the south, that is probably producing a tornado very near the community of Yarbo, near the town of Chatham. Let's go back over to our velocity view, and we're zoomed in real tight. Everything you see on the screen right now is basically Washington County, I should say, and right there, that could be a tornado. Let's go to our debris tracker product if we can do that, just to check and see. Yeah, I don't see anything that would suggest a TDS, a tornadic debris signature. If you watched our coverage last week on Friday, we had a TDS, a tornadic debris signature for parts of Okaloosa County with that tornado that moved through Holt. And anytime you get a TDS, that means that damage is happening due to a tornado, because what the radar is doing, it's looking for different sizes of objects in the atmosphere. And the good news is at this point, I don't see a TDS in Washington County, but just because you don't have a TDS does not mean that you don't necessarily have a tornado down. And so watching this very carefully in Washington County, let's go back over to our traditional radar source and we'll zoom out across the region. We are coming up on 6:45 p.m. Now 45 minutes into this tornado warning deal in West Alabama. I'm meteorologist Spinks Megginson, and we're tracking a possible tornado very near the community of Yarbo in West Alabama. Lots of lightning with this storm. Everyone else to the east is okay. I zoomed out, didn't even mention it. Everybody to the east is okay. What do I mean by that? Mobile, Pensacola, Bruton, Atmore, Monroeville, Evergreen, Greenville, Andalusia, Opp, Destin. You are all okay right now. The imminent tornado risk zone is back here in West Alabama near the Alabama-Mississippi state line. Possible tornado near Yarbo right now. Let's zoom in on that area because this is the storm that we are most concerned about. And just to set the scene, this is Alabama Highway 17 right here. Possible tornado is going to be on the back flank of this at Alabama Highway 17, crossing near Yarbo and Jordan, coming into areas near Ellisville. All right, possible tornado moving just like this. This is going to be a big deal for the community of Bigby. If you know someone at Bigby, Alabama, over in Washington County, call them, text them, tag them in the comments below, and let them know that an active tornado warning does continue for West Alabama. And by the way, if you are in Clark County or you know someone in Clark County, tag them in the comments below. If you know anyone in Tatlersville, areas near the Tom Bigby River, Highway 84, Coffeyville, Highway 154, West Bend, Cunningham, McIntyre, Chilton, Zimco, all involved in this tornado warning, valid until 7:15 p.m. So 31 more minutes on this at least. And like I mentioned, I suspect that there probably will be more in the way of tornado warnings over the next several hours as we continue to track this whole batch of storms moving in from the west. In fact, let me have a look real quick at what we've got going on over to the west. I just want to see the warning situation as it stands. And again, we're tracking all this mess in our local area. At the moment, I don't see any warnings along that line. I think it would be more prudent to go to the regional radar view. There we go, and this kind of gives us a better vantage point. No warnings noted as of 6:45 p.m. back here in Louisiana. Very heavy rain is about to start at the New Orleans metro, coming into areas near Slidell in Louisiana. In southeast Mississippi, again, just looking at this along with you, no warnings noted actually anywhere in the state of Mississippi. All the issues are now in our neck of the woods at the moment anyway. Scanning to North Alabama, these are heavy storms that are producing a lot of lightning near Jasper, Birmingham, areas near Gardendale, Warrior, Coleman, areas near Decatur, Huntsville, back down to Tuscaloosa, Northport, down to Greensboro, but those storms are below severe limits. And so clearly the most pressing issue in the entire Deep South right now is this possible tornado, really two of them, one of which is in place for Choctaw County, possible tornado near Butler pushing towards Pennington. All right, and we'll see if the National Weather Service in Birmingham decides to issue a tornado warning for Marengo County. That could be coming, and that's going to be for areas out near Nanophilia and also near and just to the west, perhaps, of Linden. Linden sits right here in the middle part of the county. Sweetwater is down here. Dixon's Mills is here. And so Pennington is next in line for this tornado. This is going to be an issue near Nanophilia in Marengo County if it holds its strength. But again, we are here because of this. And this is an active tornado warning over in West Alabama that continues until 7:15 p.m. for parts of Washington and Clark counties here in the western part of the state. I see we've got a new severe thunderstorm warning that has just popped on the board. While we're on this map, I want to tell you who's included in that. This is going to be a severe thunderstorm capable of producing damaging wind gusts for Washington and Clark counties. Jackson, Leroy, Sunflower, Wagerville, also areas near McIntosh. You've also got Scotch Wildlife Management Area, all the way back down to Highway 45. This is Highway 43. Severe thunderstorm warning for the southern part of Washington County. Let's go back over to our live radar source, and we'll show you exactly what's happening in these zones. First thing I want to do, let's zoom into our storm in Choctaw County, because this storm, it appears to be a bit more broad on radar, which is good, but nonetheless, if you're in Pennington, Myrtlewood, Butler, I would be in a safe place. Possible tornado is going to be very near the Tombigbee River. This is Choctaw County, this is Marengo County, here's the Tombigbee. And so if I'm near the Tombigbee River, near Pennington, or down here near Butler, I would be in a safe place. Let's go back down to our storm in Washington County and show you, wow, look at that. Classic inflow, classic hook echo right in through here near Yarbo, near Jordan. Possible tornado has now crossed Alabama Highway 17, and it's probably on the east side of 17. This could be a serious situation in Washington County. That is one of the more impressive radar signatures that I have seen over the last little bit. If I'm in Bigby or Frankville, you better believe I'm putting on my tornado helmet now, all right, right now. Let's go back over to the velocity source, because this storm clearly means business. That's going to be your possible tornado, and Bigby, Frankville, St. Stephen's next in line to see this nasty thunderstorm. I mean, that is a grotesque couplet, not necessarily saying a tornado's down, but certainly one could be with a signature like that. It's kind of one of those deals when you get a tornado warning like this in a rural area, this thing very well could be producing a tornado. It could be a sizable tornado, perhaps a large tornado that could be on the ground for quite some time, or this may be a rotating thunderstorm that isn't producing a tornado. We just don't know that, and it's hard to know, especially now that we're shifting into the night hours in a very rural part of West Alabama, exactly what's happening here. But again, with a signature like that, let's kind of do a probe on it. Look at those winds. Perhaps upwards of 100-mile-per-hour winds. Now, keep in mind that the radar beam is hitting this at probably, I don't know, 4,000 or 5,000 feet above your head. Let's kind of peer over to the other side, look at your gate-to-gate delta on this. So let's say 13 plus 92. What is that? 105-mile-per-hour winds possible with this storm right there. That is just as, clear of a couplet as we've seen all day with the hook echo visible on our radar source. Let's go back over to our storm that's prompted the new severe thunderstorm warning. This is in the southern part of Washington County. Sims Chapel, Topton, Hawthorne, McIntosh, Sunflower, Wagerville. Next in line to see gusty winds, large hail. Maybe a tornado. That is a concern in a storm like this. The Weather Service has opted first to issue a severe thunderstorm warning, but with a situation like this, I wouldn't be surprised if a tornado warning is needed over the next few minutes. It's 6:50 p.m. We have this level 4 risk ongoing in West Alabama, and you notice the areas that we're covering so heavily right now, West Alabama, in this level 4 risk zone. Not every day that you see a level 4 risk, and indeed, unfortunately, this forecast has verified. If you're just now joining us across the region, we are expecting these thunderstorms to continue to push to the east over the next few hours. Tornadoes, damaging wind gusts, large hail, and flash flooding will all be possible as this complex of storms continues shifting to the east. We do have an ongoing tornado watch from many local counties in South Alabama and Northwest Florida: Mobile, Baldwin, Escambia, Conecuh, Monroe, Clark, Washington, Choctaw, Marengo, Wilcox, Dallas, Lowndes, Butler, and Escambia County in Northwest Florida involved in the active tornado watch, in addition to the ongoing warnings that we have going on. Let's go back over to our radar source. Again, tracking that thing in southern Washington County, but no doubt about it, this is a booger of a storm coming into areas near Frankville and Bigby and Silver Cross in the northern part of Washington County. That may be a bounded weak echo region. I can't confirm that, but certainly looks like a potential donut on the reflectivity there, which could be a bounded weak echo region, or BWER as it's known in the meteorology world. That's a fancy way to say kind of an encasing around a potential tornado in through here that could be coming into Bigby, Frankville, and Silver Cross, in addition to potentially some large hail with this as well. Very heavy rain, no doubt about it, but embedded in this, you could have some hail as well. Let's go back over to our watch warning map and kind of give you an update of what we're looking at across the region. 3 warnings at this point, one of which is for the northeastern corner of Choctaw County, Butler and Pennington involved in that tornado warning. Another one, Coffeyville, areas near Zimco. You've also got Silver Cross, Frankville, up to Campbell, over to Chilton, involved in this tornado warning in West Alabama. And finally, a severe thunderstorm warning due to large hail and damaging winds being possible in southern Washington and soon to be southern Clark County. And just give me a second while I look at a few other things here as we get our other radar system up and working again. Yeah, let's go back over to that radar source. This is just a nasty thunderstorm that we are tracking in parts of Washington County, Alabama. Bear with me one second. Y'all know the drill. When I start talking for 17 hours straight, sometimes I have to grab a swig of water, so just bear with me. Again, watching this situation very carefully in Washington County. Let's zoom out and kind of put this in context for you, because we continue to note that thunderstorms are erupting over in West Alabama. These storms are rotating, and in this case, in Washington County, this thing could be producing a tornado. The Weather Service, as of 6:53 p.m., which was literally seconds ago, calling this a radar-indicated tornado. In fact, you know what? They're talking about the storm up here in Choctaw County. They're calling this a radar-indicated tornado very near Pennington, moving near that large paper mill in Choctaw County. They're also watching this storm in northern Washington County that has a clear hook echo on radar. That is a strong indication, just based on the reflectivity, that we could have a tornado down somewhere near Frankville and also Silver Cross in the northern part of Washington County. Let me check a few other things here as we continue to track these possible tornadoes in the western part of the state. Go back over to the iPad view and you'll see right now we do not see a clear-cut indication of any debris necessarily being lofted with this storm. The radar is seeing kind of a broad lowering here. That could be potentially a signature associated with some hail falling in through here in those same areas that I just called out. Silver Cross, Frankville, Bigby in Washington County could be experiencing large hail, in addition to a potential tornado that's about to cross the Tombigbee River and come into areas near Coffeyville. All right, so Coffeyville, you're next in line to see this possible tornado. It's prudent at this point to give Chatham a tornado all clear. If you're at Chatham, Jordan, Yarbo, you get an all clear for now. The tornado risk in those 3 areas has come to an end. And if you are, again, in Chatham, Yarbo, or Jordan, all clear. You can come out of that tornado hiding place. The threat has clearly shifted to the north, and this is now an issue for places like Bigby, Frankville, and Silver Cross in Washington County, Alabama. Let's go back over to our big radar view. And y'all know the drill. If I go silent, just bear with me. We are monitoring 14,000 things, it seems like, in this studio when we have these severe weather events. We are so blessed. I mean, man, you know, even 5 years ago, we have come so far in terms of the situational awareness tools that we have in this studio to be able to keep you safe in times of severe weather. So we're certainly grateful to our Red Zone Weather sponsors to empower us to be able to do that. Getting several questions from folks largely outside of these severe weather polygons. And let me just stress, if I call you out, let me show you the big view across the region as we continue to watch these storms. If I call you out, you're fine right now. No issues for you in the next hour in places like Pensacola, Mobile, areas near Gulf Shores, Orange Beach, Fairhope, Daphne, Point Clear, Bay Minette, Atmore, Walnut Hill, Bruton, East Bruton, Monroeville, also areas near Uri, Evergreen, Castleberry, Lenox, Greenville, Andalusia, Ott, Florala, Crestview, Milton, Pace, Navarre, Destin, Jay. You are all okay right now. There is nothing to worry about over the next hour. The issues are strictly exactly where we told you they would be in West Alabama, first. All right, storms have fired up just like the models said they would in West Alabama. Right now, we have multiple tornado warnings, one of which is in effect for northern Choctaw County. Butler and Pennington under the gun from a possible tornado. The second is a tornado warning for parts of Washington and Clark counties in West Alabama. We'll zoom in there and show you exactly what we've got going on, because again, this is the most ferocious storm that we have on the board as of 6:58 p.m. Possible tornado is at Frankville, coming into areas near Tatlersville and Coffeyville near the Tombigbee River. In fact, this is going to be near the Coffeyville Lock and Dam. If you live near the Coffeyville Lock and Dam on the Tombigbee, if you live within 5 miles of that in any given direction, you need to be implementing that tornado safety plan right now, as we have a possible tornado moving in from the southwest. This could be a damaging tornado based on the signature that we are seeing. Let's go back over to our velocity view and show you exactly what we're seeing in terms of the rotation area, because that is what you're looking at. You're looking at northeastern Washington County. This is Washington County here. All of this storm is still technically over Washington County. Here's Choctaw County up here. This is Clark County out ahead of it. And so this is basically going to cross the Tombigbee and ultimately be very near Coffeyville over the next little bit. Yeah, and the Weather Service is noting that the rotation is intensifying further in Washington County at Frankville. All right, so that's coming from our friends at the National Weather Service. Looking at more data coming in. And again, we want to thank everyone for your reports today. I should mention as well, no driving on Alabama Highway 69 extending from Coffeyville back down to Jackson. All right, this is Highway 69. No travel on Alabama Highway 69 from Coffeyville back down to Jackson. This possible tornado is going to cross the road very near the Tombigbee River, very near or perhaps just to the west of Salitpa. All right, Salitpa is in Clark County, and so this is going to be a deal that rapidly moves into Clark County. This thing is moving like a train on a track at about 50 miles per hour. No doubt, if you're in Coffeyville, you need to be implementing that tornado safety plan. You've had 20 minutes, and I hope and pray that folks in Coffeyville are in the middle part of their house, away from windows and doors, putting as many walls as they can between you and the outside world. If you're in Coffeyville, now you know what to do. Do it, all right? Get to the middle part of your house, away from windows, away from doors. Same thing at Woods Bluff. Same thing at Chilton. You've also got Tallahassee Springs, very near the edge of this polygon. Zimco, also involved in this possible tornado situation that is in Clark County, Alabama. Possible tornado is right here, and it's basically moving just like that at about 50 miles per hour. This thing is wasting no time as it continues moving off to the northeast. Getting a new tornado watch. We'll see who's included in that in just a moment. Tell you what, let's see if we can shift over and show you the watch warning map there, just to show you what we've got going on, because what I want to do is go into our NextRad data here and pull up the latest that we have from the National Weather Service in Mobile, just to make sure that we're getting the absolute latest information. All right, there we go. Now our radar data is fresh. We'll zoom back into this. We also should mention we do have more supercell thunderstorms firing up in parts of Mobile County. All right, these are storms that are below severe limits for now, but we're going to have to watch these. All of them are broadly rotating. You've also got a storm in northern Baldwin County out towards Tensas, Stockton, those areas. Broadly rotating, under severe limits for now. By the way, I see coming across my feed that we actually have a new tornado warning in central Alabama, and this is going to be one that I need to tell you about, because this is a tornado warning for parts of Tuscaloosa County. Possible tornado is near Cottonwood, pushing off to the northeast. That's going to be an issue for areas near Brookwood, and also coming into areas near Coaling imminently. and also near or just to the north of Vance and the Mercedes plant. So a tornado warning just issued for parts of Tuscaloosa County in central Alabama. We will let our friends Richard Scott, James Spann, Wes Wyatt up in the Birmingham TV market take care of that. But just so you know, the eastern part of the city of Tuscaloosa and much of eastern Tuscaloosa County now under an active tornado warning. That does include areas near Alberta City, Coaling, and Holt. Possible tornado is passing very near Coaling at this point. So I wanted you to be aware of that. Again, a possible tornado on the eastern side of the city of Tuscaloosa, Alabama. The campus of the University of Alabama is not included in that polygon. So the tornado issues for the University of Alabama are not a thing. All right, so at Alabama, if you have a student, UA, A-OK right now. But again, eastern Tuscaloosa County now under an active tornado warning until 7:45 p.m. Let's go back into our storm here in West Alabama. We are tracking a possible tornado very near the community of Tatlersville and Coffeyville. Possible tornado is on the back flank of this supercell storm that could be producing large hail very near Coffeyville. Also getting word the Weather Service has decided to extend the entire tornado watch, even for the western counties, till 11 o'clock local time. So we all have an active tornado watch for counties that have been involved until 11 o'clock tonight. So 11 p.m. on that tornado watch, even back here in West Alabama. Possible tornado is over the Tombigbee River. This may briefly become a water spout as it crosses the Tombigbee before it quickly emerges onto land in Clark County, Alabama. There could be a tornado on the ground in western Clark County as well. Let me take you up real quick, and again, I know that this is out of our area, but we've got a lot of folks asking, I see in the comments. This is in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Here's Tuscaloosa. This is Interstate 5920. This is a strong indication of a tornado on the eastern side of town. This is going to be out here near Coaling, near Cottondale, also just to the east perhaps of Holt in central Alabama. So again, I want you to be aware, part of Tuscaloosa County, now under an active tornado warning. Again, letting our friends up there deal with that, but I know there's a lot of interest, especially with the University of Alabama campus. There is no issue, no danger issue for the University of Alabama. That campus, the city of Northport, is fine, all right? So no issues for Northport or the University of Alabama campus, but the issues are in place for eastern Tuscaloosa County. We've also got issues here in Clark County. This is Clark County, Alabama. This is Clark, this is Choctaw, and this is Washington County. And so your possible tornado is going to be right in through here, basically in Clark County at this point at Tatlersville, moving just like that, coming into areas near Highway 84, which is going to be right in through here. This is Alabama Highway 154, and this is Alabama Highway 69 in through here. And so those are your three main roads under the gun from what could be a sizable tornado in Clark County, Alabama. Current time is now 7:05 p.m. I'm meteorologist Spinks Megginson. You're watching live Red Zone Weather severe weather coverage, and we have a brand new tornado warning to tell you about. On that note, this is going to be a new tornado warning for parts of Washington and Clark counties. This one's going to be on the board until, let's see, 7:45 p.m. This is a separate tornado warning, and this is now our, I don't know, third, fourth, or fifth tornado warning. We've had a lot of them over the last hour. But again, watching a possible tornado down here south of Wagerville, very near Sunflower and Malcolm. This is going to be coming up the pike towards Leroy and Jackson. And so Leroy and Jackson, you are now under a tornado warning. And this also is going to include Toddtown and Grove Hill. So Toddtown and Grove Hill, valid in a new tornado warning until 7:45 p.m. And again, if I go silent, just bear with me. I'm getting out our app alert for our folks in Clark County to let them know that we have this new tornado warning. And again, this new one is going to be for Leroy and also for Wagerville along the Highway 43 corridor. This is going to be Washington County, Alabama. And again, for folks that are involved in our Red Zone Weather app club in those two counties, you just got a new tornado warning. So first thing we need to do, let's establish exactly who is involved in this new tornado warning. Again, tornado warning in effect until 7:45 for parts of Tuscaloosa County in Alabama, but we have a new tornado warning for parts of Clark and Washington counties. If I call you out, you are involved in this new tornado warning valid until 7:45 p.m. This includes areas near Wagerville, Sunflower, also Leroy, Jackson, Toddtown. You've also got areas near Whatley, Grove Hill. This goes all the way up to just south of Fulton. I think technically Fulton is out of the polygon. Yeah, there's Fulton, and the polygon is just to the south. So again, Fulton is okay for now. Same thing at Thomasville. Here's Thomasville up here. If you're at Thomasville, you are not currently under a tornado warning as of 7:08 p.m. But just to the south of there, you are. And this does include places like Toddtown, Jackson, Grove Hill, Whatley, Chilton, the community of Allen, Salitpa, all the way back down into Washington County, Sunflower, and Wagerville. Also involved in this new tornado warning that is valid until 7:45 p.m. And again, just watching this storm develop over the last few minutes, let's actually go back to our velocity source so we can kind of track it together with our friends at the Weather Service. Oh goodness, we have some damage that's being reported in Choctaw County. So we'll come back to the damage. The concern is imminent life and property. I promise. We'll come back and talk about the damage in just a minute. But here's your new tornado warning. That's a possible tornado near Highway 43, south of Highway 56, south of Wagerville. If you are at Wagerville, Alabama, or you know someone at Wagerville, you call them now, right? Don't wait. Call them, text them, tag them in the video comments below if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, and let them know there's an imminent tornado danger at Wagerville, Alabama, and also at Leroy and at Jackson. Here's Jackson, right across the Tombigbee River. You find Leroy right in through here. All those areas now under a tornado warning. We got a new tornado warning to tell you about, and this is going to be for parts of Clark County as well. This is a separate circulation, and you know what? This is actually an extension of the warning. So there's your new one. New tornado warning for parts of Clark County. So what's happened here, the Weather Service has replaced the tornado warning for the western part of Clark, and you now have new communities involved in this tornado warning that's valid until 7:45 p.m. Coffeyville, Opine, Bashai, Morven, Campbell, Cunningham, Tallahassee Springs, and this goes all the way over to near Thomasville, but again, it looks like it's going to miss Thomasville on the west. But let's zoom in on it and just be sure. Yeah, Thomasville is dodging a bullet right now. Here's the community of Thomasville. Here's Midway. This is Alabama Highway 154. This is US Highway 43. Highway 5 is up here. Thomasville is not, I repeat, not involved in this new tornado warning that's valid until 7:45. So again, watching this situation very carefully. If you are in Grove Hill or Jackson or Coffeyville, you are involved in these active tornado warnings valid until 7:45 p.m. Let's go back over to the radar view and we'll show you that we have ongoing issues in Clark County, kind of the bullseye zone at this point. And really Washington County as well. Let's kind of work these storms because, again, here's your northern storm up here near Coffeyville. Here's your southern storm currently in Washington County about to cross out near the Tombigbee River near Jackson and Leroy over the next 5 minutes. So let's zoom in on that. And here's going to be your possible tornado, currently situated very near Wagerville at the present point. Here's Wagerville. This is US Highway 43. This is Alabama State Highway 56 right here that connects it back over to Chatham. And your possible tornado is going to be on the back flank of this, right in through here. Could have large hail falling right now at Leroy. If you're in Leroy or Jackson, let me just, again, look into the camera and be very direct. Leroy or Jackson, you need to be implementing that tornado safety plan right now, as we have a possible tornado coming into your area from the southwest. Again, Leroy, Jackson, Grove Hill, Coffeyville, Tallahassee Springs, also areas near Salitpa and Toddtown. this is what you want to do right now. You need something to protect your head. A tornado warning is imperative in these situations. We've been advertising this for days. Please put something on your head. If you don't have a tornado helmet, now is not the time to go out to the dollar store or Walmart. You need to put a makeshift helmet on, like a cooking pot. And again, I know you may be thinking, what in the world is this guy talking about? But I promise you, it could save your life. Put on something to protect your head if you are in Coffeyville, Grove Hill, Jackson, Toddtown, a lot of these areas over in Clark County. So important to protect your head whenever we have active tornado warnings. So again, watching this situation very carefully, we note that there is a new severe thunderstorm warning, all right? New severe thunderstorm warning. And this is going to be for parts of Mobile County. The Weather Service is noting that we've got broad rotation out here towards the Mobile Regional Airport. They are not choosing to issue a tornado warning just yet, but they are issuing a severe thunderstorm warning for the western part of the Mobile Metro, Seven Hills, also areas near Pritchard, Crichton, the University of Mobile campus, Saraland, Satsuma, Creola, Chinchula, Lott, all involved in this new severe thunderstorm warning. You may have large hail and gusty winds over the next few minutes. But again, we are here to track the tornado-warned storms. Let's go back up to our northern storm because this is quickly going to be an issue for places like McIntyre and Tallahassee Springs along the along the Alabama Highway 154 corridor here. We would encourage everyone in those communities to remain sheltered. And let me stress, I know it's 7:14. We're now in darkness. This is not, unfortunately, going to be a night where we get, these dramatic tornado images. I realize that, to most people, this doesn't mean too much. This bucket of spilled paint, as we call it. But it means something, all right? You got to take it seriously. If you're involved in this tornado warning box, this polygon as it's known, you need to be doing something about it, especially if you're near Opine, Tallahassee Springs, McIntyre, Bashai, or Morven, Woods Bluff, Campbell, right in through here in northern Clark County. This is the zone where this possible tornado is moving. Let's actually look at this on velocity, and yeah, man, oh man, you can clearly see this couplet right there. That's your possible tornado. This is now exited out of areas near Coffeyville. So at this point, if you're in Coffeyville, let's give it maybe 1 or 2 more minutes. This thing is still so close. If you're in Coffeyville, 1 or 2 more minutes, and I'll give you a tornado all clear in Coffeyville, but hang out in that tornado safe place for 2 more minutes in Coffeyville. Again, McIntyre, Tallahassee Springs, Bashai, next in line from that possible tornado. Let's go back over to our storm in Washington County because this possible tornado is very near Wagerville, pushing into areas near Leroy and Jackson. If you know anybody, even if you don't, know them super well, if they're your friend or buddy on Facebook and you know them in Jackson or Leroy, Alabama, over here in Washington and Clark counties, tag them in the comments below, as this is a serious situation. They need to be watching a weather source. And like I said the other day, it doesn't have to be me. We want you to watch someone whenever you're under a tornado warning because these storms mean business, all right? It can be the difference between life and death in some cases. Not to be overly dramatic, but that is the truth in these tornadic situations. And we want folks in Jackson and Leroy to be sheltered because of this, all right? That's called a couplet on radar, very near the community of Wagerville at the intersection of Alabama Highway 56 and US Highway 43, coming into areas near the Tombigbee River right now. We'll go back over to our reflectivity source. And again, looking at that northern storm first, but we'll shift down to our southern storm because again, this is near Wagerville. You were looking at that storm a second ago. Here's St. Stephen's, which is on the edge of the polygon, looking like this tornado is going to pass a bit to the east of St. Stephen's, moving just like this. I tell you what, we're going to know in a matter of moments if we got a tornado down because this is coming right down into Leroy and Jackson. This storm cell is moving right into those areas. Hopefully, this is simply a rotating thunderstorm that isn't producing a tornado, but I can't guarantee that. And while we hope that that's the situation, hope is not a plan. And we encourage everyone in Jackson and Leroy to be in a tornado-safe place. You are next in line. Possible tornado is going to be right here, pushing just like that. All right, it's going to be basically paralleling 43 into town, right into Jackson and Leroy. That is something you just don't want to see. Possible tornado coming into an area that has population. And so, and you really don't want to see it anywhere, obviously, but especially in these highly populated zones like what we're seeing now. Please be in a safe place if you're in Leroy or in Jackson. Watching this situation down around Mobile also with vehement intent, because this storm is rotating like a top, right? This thing is spinning very broadly at this point near the USA campus, near the Mobile Regional Airport, also areas near Baker High School, Sims, Mauvilla, next in line to see very heavy rain from this storm. Could have some small hail involved as well. And I see that we've actually got another storm that has developed in northern Baldwin County that could be an issue for Monroe County in the next little bit. Here's Baldwin County, and this is the northern tip of the county. So this is well to the north of Bay Minette. This storm is rotating near Tensaw. This is going to be an issue for Chrysler. We'll have to watch that one because that ultimately potentially could be an issue for Monroeville if it strengthens, as it kind of moves just like that. We'll watch that with time. Also, Mexie. If you're at Mexie, you need to watch this storm. If you know someone at Mexie, tag them in the comments below. Could have a storm on the way. I also see that we've got some more storms back here near Mount Vernon and Citronelle. These are also going to be pushing into Clark County over the next little bit. We'll go back up to our tornado warning storm in northern Clark. Again, working two separate tornado warnings on this Tuesday evening, and we kicked off this coverage right at 6 o'clock. It's now 7:19 p.m. I'm meteorologist Spinks Meganson, and we got two tornado warnings as of 7:19 p.m. First tornado is very near McIntyre, possible tornado, I should say, and this is pushing just like that, coming into areas near the Scotch Wildlife Management Area, near Highway 154, Opine, community of Glover, and also Bashai, all right? So possible tornadoes moving just like that. Looks like this is gonna miss Thomasville to the west, but nonetheless, you probably are hearing some distant thunder about 5 or 10 miles to your west in Thomasville. Very heavy rain out here. Could be having some hail up to the size of a dime in places like Glover and Opine over the next few minutes. And the Weather Service is continuing this tornado warning for Clark. About 12 miles west of Thomasville. So that's the storm you're looking at here. Here's Thomasville. About 12 miles to the west-southwest of there, you find your tornado, possible tornado, lifting just like that towards Glover and towards Bashai. If you're at Bashai, be in a safe place. Lowest floor, site-built structure, away from windows and doors, putting as many walls as you can between you and the outside world. You need to have a tornado helmet on. Protect your head. I'll say it until I'm blue in the face. We may even put it on my grave site. You know, protect your head in a tornado. It's the best possible thing to do whenever we have these tornado warnings. You've got to have a tornado warning helmet, even if it's a cooking pot, even if it's a makeshift helmet. I beg of you, protect your head. We know that these tornado helmets work because of past tornado events. The one that comes to mind is the one that happened EF4 a few years ago. I think it was in March of like 2019 in Lee County. We know that people put on cooking pots and they survived a big bad tornado. So again, you got to protect your head whenever we have tornado warnings. And right now, you need to be wearing a tornado helmet if you're at Opine, Glover, and Bashai in northern Clark. All right, let's talk about the damage because we have had some storm damage reported, unfortunately, over in West Alabama. And again, we'll come back to our southern tornado warning in just a little bit because we're tracking two possible tornadoes, one of which is near McIntyre, coming into areas near Bashai. The other is near Leroy and Jackson, and we'll come back to that area imminently in just a second. But just to mention this, an emergency manager reports potential tornado damage, roof damage with lots of trees down from a likely tornado in Toxie. Toxie sits on the north side of Gilbertown right here on Alabama Highway 17. And so that cell that has now pushed well to the north, yeah, there it is. This cell that's now extending back to Pennington and near the large paper mill in Choctaw County, near Linden, coming into Marengo County, that storm produced damage back when it was around Toxie about 30 minutes ago. And also another note from the Weather Service, We're getting reports from Roy Waite. Roy is the EMA director for Clark County. He is a rock star in the EMA world, great guy. And Roy is reporting that we got damage on Highway 69 between Salitpa and Coffeyville, right in through here. And so that would line up perfectly with this storm, all right? This northern Clark storm is likely producing damage in northern Clark County. Tallahassee Springs, Glover, Bashai, you are under the gun from a possible tornado. You need to be underground if you can get there. If you can't, that's okay. Get to the lowest floor of a site-built structure away from windows and doors. Possible tornado is going to be out here towards Bashai Road in the next little bit. Same thing at Tallahassee Springs, Alabama Highway 154 points back to the west, involved in this tornado warning. Let me stress though, if you are in Thomasville proper, Thomasville, Alabama, you are not involved in this tornado warning. This is Highway 43. This is downtown Thomasville, sits right here, out of the tornado warning polygon. So again, downtown Thomasville, areas near Walmart, even areas here on the western side of town, Alabama Highway 154, and down south near the schools and the Thomasville Industrial Park. You are okay. The issues really start from the Choctaw Corner Cemetery, if you know where that is, back to the west. All right, Choctaw Corner Cemetery sits right here, and then back to the west out on Bashai Road. This is where we could have the issues in the northern part of Clark. Let's go back over to our storm in Jackson and Leroy, because the Weather Service is indicating that this storm continues to potentially produce a tornado, although I have to say this signature is much more broad than it once was. Possible tornado, if one is down, with this storm would be happening near Jackson and Leroy, right in through here. Let's go over to the velocity view and just let me kind of show you this, because this signature is certainly not what it once was. There could be a tornado in through here, but again, just looking at it, it's mighty suspect. It's questionable, and that's a good thing for you. If you're in Jackson, Leroy, even in Grove Hill, if you're in Grove Hill, Simcoe, Watley, you are included in the polygon, but right now, it's better news for those communities in the southern part of Clark County. That signature is much more broad compared to what it once was. Let's go back over to our storm in Mobile County, again, tracking multiple storms here that could be producing quite a bit of wind. This one's in Mobile County, and this is a severe thunderstorm warning. We're working a severe thunderstorm warning this evening for parts of Mobile County, and this is going to be in effect until 8 o'clock. This storm could be producing large hail and damaging straight line winds coming into areas near Saraland, Satsuma, Axis, Criolla, Chinchula, Mauvilla, areas near the University of Mobile campus, and ultimately come out here towards Mount Vernon. All right, so this storm is moving just like that. Good news to pass along. That tornado warning that we just told you about that I said was weakening, that warning has been canceled. And so that is always a good thing to say. So let's kind of talk about this. If I call you out, I'm giving you a tornado all clear for now. You may get more warnings later, but for now, we'll give you a tornado all clear in Grove Hill, Jackson, Toddtown, Salitpa, Simcoe, Watley, Allen. All right, all those areas that I just called out here in Clark County, Alabama, you get a tornado all clear. The danger is done for now, and you can come out of that tornado hiding place if you are at Grove Hill, areas near Jackson, Leroy, Sunflower, Wagerville. All right, you are out of the polygon in those places, and I'm giving you an all clear for now. Good news. Again, more storms possible later. The storm in northern Clark County, however, still means business. And let's kind of zoom in up here. We're down to one tornado warning as of this present point, 7:26 p.m. And it's a possible tornado very near Bashai, Opine, and Glover. All right, out here in north central Clark County. This is west of Thomasville. No doubt about it, this supercell storm is going to pass to the west of Thomasville. You have never been involved in an active tornado warning if you're just now tuning in Thomasville, Alabama. But about 5 miles to the west of there, out here west of Highway 154 towards Tallahassee Springs, which sits right here, that area is involved in this active tornado warning that's technically valid until 7:45, But what's going to happen, this storm is going to move into Marengo County, and Dixon's Mills sits right here. We'll see if the Weather Service in Birmingham decides to issue a tornado warning for Marengo County. That is possible over the next few minutes. And by the way, just to kind of set the scene for you, if they do, that's going to be for places like Dixon's Mills and areas just to the east of Sweetwater, to the west of Pine Hill. And so this is your zone in Marengo County. In fact, Dixon's Mills, I mean, that's going to be in the heart of this warning if NWS Birmingham chooses to issue a warning for Marengo County. We'll see if they do. Again, this is the only tornado warning that we have as of 7/27, so we're going to just kind of hang out here in northern Clark County. Tallahassee Springs is here. This is Bashai. This is Bashai Road right here. Glover is here. Thomasville has never been involved in the tornado warning, and if you're at Woods Bluff or Cunningham, you are okay at this point. Campbell and Morven are technically still included in the tornado warning polygon, but clearly the danger zone is to the east. And so what I'm telling you, if you're at Campbell or Morven along State Highway 69, you're okay at this point. The issues are to your east. So this is kind of splitting the difference between the Tombigbee River, Morven, Campbell, and Thomasville. All right, so Glover, Bashai, and Tallahassee Springs under the gun from a possible tornado at this point. And I see that the Weather Service has maintained that tornado warning in Choctaw County, but it looks like the core of that has actually moved into Marengo County as well. The only other tornado warning that we have on the board as of 7:28 p.m. is happening up here in the central part of the state. This is Tuscaloosa County here. This is Jefferson County, home of Birmingham, Alabama's largest city. Possible tornado is near or north of Brookwood. That's going to be pushing into Jefferson County out here really to the west of Birmingham, out here in the suburbs over the next few minutes. But again, I know that every TV station in the world right now up here is covering this warning for Tuscaloosa County. That has nothing to do with the city of Tuscaloosa at this point. But again, just something to be aware of. Let's go back over to our radar source. And tracking a possible tornado in northern Clark County about to cross the line out of Clark into Marengo County. We'll zoom in real tight. And again, this is a situation where we could have a tornado on the ground. This storm has a history of producing storm damage back around Highway 69 and areas near Salitpa and Coffeyville. This same storm did damage. We know that several houses have apparently been damaged, according to EMA officials, along with trees being down. And again, watching this storm as it kind of crosses out of our area into Marengo County. Joined alongside executive producer Bentley Martin this evening. Thanks for joining us this evening, Bentley. We certainly appreciate your service. And we are working a severe weather event that's ongoing this evening across West Alabama. Let's zoom out on our radar source, and I want to do kind of a reset as we get towards 7:30 p.m. because what we have going on, this is round one of the severe weather that we are having at this point. And as of 7:30 p.m., we have two main storms that we are tracking, one of which is on the north side of the Mobile Metro. This is a severe thunderstorm warning, and we could have damaging wind gusts in excess of 60 miles per hour coming into places like Satsuma and Satsuma and Saraland, I should say, in northern Mobile County. We're also tracking a tornado warned storm, which is the reason we're here, in northern Clark County. Let's zoom in there. And what I want to do, we'll focus on this first, and then we'll come back down to Mobile County. And if you'll kind of work the banners, right now we're looking at Clark County, Alabama. And this tornado is basically, possible tornado I should say, is basically lifting out of Clark County. And this is affecting areas near Bashai and Glover. Got a new tornado warning to tell you about. This is going to be a new tornado warning, and this is going to be for Monroe County, mainly in southwest Alabama. This is going to include Mexie and Purdue Hill. New tornado warning, new set of danger, new focus zone for us over the next few minutes as we have a new tornado warning for parts of Monroe County. That one's going to be on the board until 8:15 p.m. So 8:15 p.m., new tornado warning. And this is going to include areas out here near Homewood as well. So Mexie, Purdue Hill, Homewood till 8:15 p.m. And for the folks in Monroe County, you just got yet another Red Zone Weather app alert. And this is a deal for Monroe County and also really the southern part of Clark County near Gosport. This is a new tornado warning for Gosport near till 8:15 p.m. I realize Clark has really taken the brunt of these tornado warnings over the last little bit, but the first thing we need to do is tell you exactly who's involved in this new tornado warning. So let's zoom in and we'll shift to our watch warning map, and there you go. If I call you out, you're involved in this new tornado warning, valid until 8:15 p.m. Just to clarify, a warning means you need to take action to protect life and property, as we could have an imminent tornado developing on the southern side of this polygon, pushing just like that. So again, if I call you out, you are now involved in an active tornado warning. Chrysler, Little River, Blackshear, Eliska, Homewood, Gainstown, Choctaw Bluff, also areas near Purdue Hill, Mexie, Claiborne, also Gosport, and areas near the Claiborne Lock and Dam, and near the ARC paper mill, which is right in through, I say paper mill, they make, I think it's cellulose at ARC. If you're near that, they're owned by Georgia Pacific, as we learned last time. Right in through here. If you're near that paper mill, you are involved in an active tornado warning at ARC. If you know someone that would be traveling perhaps to work down Highway 84, down from Purdue Hill, literally down the hill into Claiborne and into the areas near the river, call them and let them know they can't be driving anymore. This is a possible tornado coming in from the southwest, and they need to get to a tornado safe place right now. Let's go back over to our radar view here. I'll turn back on the radar from my end. And we have been here for an hour and a half at this point, tracking possible tornadoes. And at this point, we have 2 tornado warnings, one of which is in effect for far northern Clark County, near Bashai and near Glover to the west of Thomasville. The other is in effect for far northern Baldwin, far southeastern Clark, and also western Monroe County. We're also tracking a severe thunderstorm here in the northern side of the Mobile Metro that's coming into areas near Axis and Mount Vernon. That is a severe thunderstorm warning and not a tornado warning. So let's talk about the tornado warnings, because that's why we're here. Let's go back up to our storm in Clark County. And look, this is going to be the last time we talk about this, because this is quickly becoming an issue for Marengo County. This is about as close as you can get on our radar tool. Here's Thomasville. If you've been in Thomasville, you've never been involved in the tornado warning, but you go just a little bit, say 3 miles out of town, out Bashai Road, out by Choctaw Corner Cemetery, and points back to the west, you find this possible tornado near Bashai. All right, this is lifting north into Marengo County, and based on this, it looks like the Weather Service in Birmingham at this point is not going to issue a tornado warning for Dixon's Mills. But just know, over the next few seconds, really the next minute or two, you may get a tornado warning in Dixon's Mills if NWS Birmingham decides to extend this warning. Clearly, though, the bigger issues are to the south, and we're tracking another separate possible tornado down here on the northern side of Baldwin County. And when I say northern side, man, this is on the far northern tip of Baldwin County. We'll zoom in and show you the entirety of Baldwin County. Look at that. Biggest county by area in the state of Alabama, from the Alabama beaches at Gulf Shores all the way back up here to Tensas and Stockton. Even Tensas, I don't believe, is included in this tornado warning. Let's see. Yeah, there's Tensas down there. Blackshear is included. Little River is included. Chrysler and Monroe County, you are included in the active tornado warning. Same thing at Eliska. You've also got Gainstown right here. This is going to be the Alabama River, and most, actually all of the tornado warnings before this one happened in areas west of the Alabama River. But this one is basically paralleling the Alabama River, coming into areas near Eliska, Gainstown, and Manistee in Monroe County. Again, this is going to be an issue for areas out near ARC and Purdue Hill in about 10 to 15 minutes. This is US Highway 84 right here. If you're in Monroeville, you are not included in this tornado warning polygon. It looks like this circulation, even if it holds its strength, is going to pass through Claiborne ultimately and emerge in areas west of Monroeville. So again, at Monroeville, you are fine for now. You may get tornado warnings later tonight or tomorrow morning, but for now in Monroeville, you're okay. Mexie is right on the edge. Mexie sits right here, and I had the privilege of speaking at Mexie Baptist Church not too long ago on the north side of 47 there. That church and points back to the west, all right? You are involved in the tornado warning. So basically from Mexie and points west, looking like the circulation may pass just a bit to the west of Mexie, but as a course of least regret, if I'm in Mexie, what I'm doing is getting to my tornado safe place, and I'm doing that right now. Again, here's your storm. This is northern Baldwin County here. This is Monroe County. This is Clark County. That's Escambia County, Alabama. This is Washington County back here. So possible tornado is going to be right in through here, basically at the triple point between Clark, Monroe, and Baldwin counties, basically near or just to the west of Alabama Highway 59. I'm not talking about Alabama Highway 59 going down to the beach. That's what everybody thinks when I think, Alabama Highway 59. No, I'm talking about 59 north of the interstate, way out here at Blacksher, Little River, Chrysler, coming over to areas near Uri. No travel at this point on Alabama Highway 59 from Uri all the way back down to Tensas. You can't be traveling on 59. That's kind of the main road in through here. Very, very heavy rain is happening at Aliska at this point. Very heavy rain, torrential downpours. But again, we are watching the velocity signature very carefully, and I'll tell you what, it looks like it's kind of broadened out. Let's go back over to the iPad source, please, ma'am. Same storm, looking at this data a little bit differently. Your possible tornado is going to be right here, and this is going to be coming into areas near Choctaw Bluff, Gainestown, which is on the Clark County side, and also areas near Homewood. It's interesting because, you know what, if you are watching on Facebook Live, I would be curious to know, I don't really ever do surveys during these live videos, but every person that I personally have ever talked to in Monroe County, when I talk about Homewood, they kind of look at me funny. I'm curious, do you know where Homewood is in Monroe County? It's on our map, and I've been through there, but I don't think there's even a sign to note where it is. It may be one of these communities that had residents 50 years ago, and it's no longer a thing. Nonetheless, though, Homewood in Monroe County is right here, and Homewood is included in the tornado warning. And so if you're at Homewood, let them know they are under a tornado warning. And by the way, I'm not talking about big Homewood up by Hoover in Shelby County. I'm talking about Homewood here in Monroe County, Alabama. Population of maybe 50, and that may be being pretty generous. But if you're at Homewood, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to know if that's still a community, because it certainly is on our map. In fact, take me back over to LD1. We'll show you that in action. If I zoom in real tight, and keep in mind what this radar does, the more population your town has, the more likely my radar system is to show you it on the map farther out. So what I want to do, again, you're looking at all these smaller communities like Aliska and Chrysler under the gun from this possible tornado. I'm going to zoom in real tight. I'm talking real tight, and there it is. There's Homewood right there south of Purdue Hill. You got Purdue Hill right here, Barlow Bend, Choctaw Bluff. I know those are real places, but Homewood, to my knowledge, I don't know anybody from Homewood, Alabama and Monroe County. But if it's real, I want to know about it. Let me know if you're from Homewood, Alabama and Monroe County in the comments below, and I certainly would appreciate that. By the way, if you'll be watching those Facebook comments, I would be very intrigued by that. But again, possible tornado is basically at Chrysler coming into areas near Choctaw Bluff. And this is going to be basically paralleling the Alabama River. This is the Alabama River, that curvy black line that you see right here. This is Clark County. Back behind me, this is Washington County. This is Monroe County right here. Over here, you have Conecuh County. No issues at all in Conecuh or Escambia, Alabama at this point. So again, possible tornado is near Chrysler, lifting off to the northeast. By the way, if you see any damage reports, if you'll holler and wave your arms, let me know something's going on. I get so caught up in this coverage that I need you to holler at me if we see anything going on. Aliska, Gainestown, next in line to see this possible tornado near the Alabama River. Could have some large hail falling near the Alabama River as well. And keep in mind, it does look like this tornado is possible tornado, I should say, is going to split the difference between Monroeville and Grove Hill. So if you're at Grove Hill or Monroeville or XL, Frisco City, or Uri, there's no imminent danger. I see that the Weather Service appears to have done something, and yeah, it looks like they're going to go ahead and cancel the warning. Take me back over to the iPad view, and we can clearly see why they have done that. This signature has broadened out tremendously over the last few seconds, and it's been pretty consistent. We'll back it up. This was, let's see what time that was, 7:25 p.m. What time is it now? It is 7:42, so that was almost 20 minutes ago. The signature looked robust when it was at northern Baldwin County, but look at what's happened. There's the lightning, it kind of ramped up, and what's happened, this has broadened out to the point that the Weather Service in their assessment believes this is no longer producing a tornado. And so they're canceling the tornado warning for Baldwin, Monroe, and Clark counties as the circulation has weakened considerably and is no longer a threat at the present moment. And so, for the first time in about 2 hours, let's go back over to LD1, please. This is the first time that we have had no active tornado warnings. And I realize that you see there in northern Clark, the Weather Service has not trimmed that out, but the reason that's still on our system, that storm, by the way, is at Dixon's Mills. NWS Birmingham did not choose to issue a tornado warning for Marengo, and so this is now basically an invalid warning. It's going to go off the screen in about 1:30 seconds, but there is no tornado danger at this point in Clark County. That warning has clearly fallen off, and we'll go back over to the wide view. Let's kind of check things out, because we have endured what has been round 1 of 2 of this severe weather event that's going to be multi-pronged in the overnight hours. Tornadoes, damaging straight-line winds, large hail, flash flooding, all going to become concerns as we see round 2 developing to our west, back across Mississippi and Louisiana. Folks, we got a long way to go, and I know that this has been a rough ride, especially over in West Alabama. Washington, Clark, Choctaw counties, you've had 10 tornado warnings over the last hour and a half, but we're just now getting started. You can't go to sleep without a way to get urgent weather warnings in the overnight hours, as we could have more in the way of tornado warnings, and you're seeing that in action. Let's see, we got a new tornado warning over here in Louisiana and Mississippi. That's going to be, I believe that is Pearl River County. Let's zoom in there and see. Yeah, that's actually St. Tammany and also Washington parishes in Louisiana were involved in that. And also I see that actually metropolitan New Orleans is actually under a tornado warning at this point. So Metro New Orleans, let's go back over to LD2 and I'll show you the watch warning map across our local area just to say that we now have no active tornado warnings for any part of southwest Alabama or northwest Florida. You see that thing in northern Clark. The reason that's still up, when this clock hits, and yeah, there it goes, at 7:45 it goes away because the warning expired. So we are now without a tornado warning locally, but I suspect that we will get some more over the next several hours. If you'll take me back over to LD1, please, ma'am, because we do have an active tornado warning for metropolitan New Orleans. This is New Orleans, Louisiana, and the metro area is now involved in a tornado warning. So if you know someone in New Orleans, call them, text them, tag them in the comments below. This is a warning for metropolitan New Orleans, Louisiana. You need to let them know a serious situation there in New Orleans. Again, tracking another cell there in southeast Mississippi. It's going to be north of, or excuse me, to the east of Bogalusa. Let's go into our storm in Mobile County. This is the only warning that we have, and this is a severe thunderstorm warning and not a tornado warning. You got heavy rain falling right now near the community of Bucks. Also areas near Axis, Creola, Mount Vernon. This is Highway 43 right in through here. This is Interstate 65 near the Dolly Parton Bridge. I would not want to be on the Dolly Parton Bridge right now on I-65. Very heavy rain is happening near the Mobile River, near that power plant that you can see from the Dolly Parton Bridge. North of Mobile. This storm is exiting out of the Mobile Metro, and this is moving ultimately into the Mobile-Tensas River Delta. Let's check the velocity on that. If you'll take me back over to the iPad source, please, ma'am. There we go. Here's your severe thunderstorm warning box, and you're looking at northern Mobile County and through here, and the velocity is just noisy, all right? There's no reason to believe that there's an imminent tornado risk in northern Mobile County. So I certainly think that it was the right call on the part of the Weather Service to issue a severe thunderstorm warning and not a tornado warning. I tell you, this thing in Monroe County has kind of cycled back up a little bit, but that's not a classic couplet on radar. This is basically right over the Alabama River. Let's go back over to LD1. We'll look at our formerly tornado-warned storm that's bringing very heavy rain to parts of southeastern Clark County out here towards Gainestown, Suggsville, Manila, also areas down here in the River Delta near Carlton. This was a storm that previously prompted a tornado warning a bit to the south, and the warning actually went all the way up to Gosport, Claiborne, and Purdue Hill and Mexie. That warning has since been canceled. So if you missed that about 5 minutes ago, there is no active tornado warning anymore for any part of Clark, Monroe, or northern Baldwin County. That warning was canceled, and we are without a tornado warning across our local area. What's our graphics on the bottom there where it says graphics? Are we on that tornado warning graphic? It's okay. If you'll take me over to the graphics, because what I want to do is show you the projected radar over the next few hours and kind of give you a better vantage point of what's to come. A tornado watch does continue for several local counties until 11 o'clock. We are nowhere near the end of this severe weather event. And so I stress, if you're going to bed in the hours ahead, have a way to get the warnings. You can go to sleep. This is not a night that you need to stay up and worry, but it is a night when you need to have a way to get notified in case we have a tornado warning for your specific hometown. And what that means is, especially if you're in these shaded counties, you're involved in a tornado watch. You have the greatest risk of a tornado over the next few hours in Mobile, Baldwin, Escambia, Conecuh, Monroe, Clark, Washington, Choctaw, Marengo, Wilcox, Butler. Also, Escambia County in northwest Florida involved in the tornado watch. Several counties in North Alabama have been trimmed out as storms have moved through there. Here's the projected radar, though, and let's kind of watch this because these storms are going to continue to move to the east over the next few hours. By 10 o'clock, could have numerous showers and thunderstorms across our local area. Tornadoes, damaging winds, large hail, and flash flooding all will be possible across not only southwest Alabama, but also northwest Florida in the hours ahead. Had this level 4 risk earlier today. I haven't checked the Storm Prediction Center website. Yeah, they're maintaining the level 4 risk back here in these areas. And what will happen once the frontal boundary moves through, the risk obviously goes down to near zero. And so greatest risk over the next few hours will continue to be in these shades of orange and red back here in West Alabama, but even in the overnight hours farther east, we have a level 2 out of 5 severe weather risk in place for many local counties. Let's go back over to LD1 and show you the radar view, because what we're going to do, because we have no tornado warnings as of 7:50 p.m., almost 2 continuous hours of nonstop video coverage here, we're going to go back to covering storms in the Red Zone weather app. And you know the drill. The minute that we have a new tornado warning, we'll jump straight back on Facebook Live to bring you the very latest. As of 7:50 p.m., severe thunderstorms continue in parts of northern Mobile County near Axis, near Mount Vernon. Those storms going to cross the Mobile-Tensas River Delta and come up here basically into areas near Tensas and Stockton, ultimately also tracking a storm that is broadly rotating, coming into Claiborne and Gosport in Monroe and Clark counties, respectively. If and when we have more tornado warnings, we'll be back. If you will click ending in that video, in that top layer, we will end the coverage. I'll take a break, come straight back to you in the Red Zone Weather app, and of course, we will bring you the latest. I do hope you have a wonderful Tuesday evening. Stay safe. Have a way to get